Hello everyone and welcome back to Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and today we have an exciting video because I am announcing the 2025 Precious Fabric Challenge. We did this last year. It was so much fun and I would love for all of you to participate with us over on Instagram. Or even if you're not on Instagram, if you just want to participate in your own sewing room, it's a really great, fun challenge. And I'm going to explain what it is, the rules, all that kind of stuff, and show you the fabric I'm going to be using for my precious fabric garment that I'm going to be making. So the idea for Precious Fabric kind of came last year when I just had a lot. Actually, I think I was in one of my pattern fitting classes. I was running one of my pattern fitting classes at the time, and we were talking about just things that we were scared to cut into and what a shame that was. And I was like, that is a shame. Like, we should be putting these things, creating things, because there's always going to be another beautiful fabric that's going to come into our life. So get them out of the drawers or the shelves, because that's such a sad place for them to be when we were so excited when we purchased them and we want to get them onto our body. So we taking a deep breath, all of us together, and doing the hard thing and cutting into those very precious fabrics. Last year, I had you guys on Instagram help me pick what pattern I was going to use, which fabric I was going to use, and then the details, like which details, which buttons I was going to use and what finishes I was going to put on it. I made a really beautiful blouse with some Italian silk that I purchased when I was in Italy in 2023. It was very expensive, but I was so excited when I bought it. And guys, I have worn, it's a very simple top, but I have worn the bejesus out of this top. It is just one of my favorite things and a statement piece. I get compliments on it when I wear it. It's just really gorgeous, feels beautiful to wear. So glad that it is not languishing in my stash, but instead is in my closet. So that's what we're doing again. We are challenging everyone to find that piece of fabric. Now, this could be precious because you can't get it anymore. Maybe it was a vintage find. It doesn't have to be something that was expensive. It could be a vintage find or something that you inherited from someone or were gifted by someone. Or maybe it is something that you purchased and maybe it was expensive and that makes it scary to cut into. Or maybe something so beautiful that you just are in your head and you don't even know what to make with it. So it can be any of those things. But the challenge is going to be to pick one, and we're going to go through the process of making a muslin so that we aren't disappointed in the way something fits, because that is a real thing. We're going to be picking, making our muslin a wearable muslin. So we're going to be picking a fabric that's very similar to our final fabric so that we don't have any surprises. This also gives us a chance, if it's a new to us pattern, to try out techniques that are in the pattern, make sure we like those techniques, the finishings and stuff like that before we actually make our actual garment. So we're going to be doing all of this together here in September, and I really hope that you will participate with us. Very simple. You just post your pictures on Instagram and you're going to tag me, tomcat.stitchery, as well as, and that's a new, we changed the Instagram handle to make it, it needed to be done for a while, but the Instagram handle is now tomcat.stitchery. We have got some wonderful sponsors that have given wonderful prizes. They are all digital prizes, so all digital patterns. I think they're all digital patterns, but all digital products. So anyone in the world can win them. So there is no, it doesn't matter where you live. Anyone is game for getting any of these prizes. You can enter as much as you want. If you want to do 3 precious fabric garments in September, that's fine, but it will only be 1 entry per person. So just keep that in mind. And and you can use the hashtag precious, I can't remember what the hashtag is. Hashtags have gotten weird on Instagram though. Please do use this hashtag though. And we will, that will be very helpful to us too, just to make sure we don't miss anybody. I can't remember exactly what the hashtag is, so I'll put it right here. But that's all you have to do, and then you're entered, and it's going to be randomly chosen. I'll be randomly choosing winners with a comment picker, basically, that just will go through and pick winners randomly. So I think last year we had like 5 or 6 different winners because we had enough prizes to divide it up. And I think we've got about that same as well. So make sure you're following along with us on Instagram. We're going to have lots of posts on all the sponsors that will be participating, but they're good ones. So you definitely want to make sure that you clue into that as well. Okay, so that's what the challenge is all about. I have decided for this year, I am going to have help picking a few things, but that is going to be happening on my YouTube membership. And we would love for you to join us over on the YouTube membership. We have a lot of fun over there. And Jenny and I get up to some antics and stuff like that over there. But they're going to be voting to help me pick some, specifics that come with this project. But I did go ahead and pick my own fabric. So that's not going to be something that anyone's going to be voting on. Pattern is going to be something that they're going to vote on, and then different finishes and that sort of thing. But I'll be showing everything here on the regular channel as well. So when I do my wearable muslin, we'll be talking through that, the fitting process and that sort of thing, as well as you'll see the final garment, all the above. But the fabric that I have chose to use is not something that has been in my stash very long. In fact, I just bought this in May, but it was such a showstopper, and it was expensive. It was like $48 a yard, I think, which is, that's not, I do not normally spend that much on fabric, but it was so beautiful that I couldn't say no. So it is this gorgeous wool, and this is, it's a pretty good width. I mean, it's probably a 54 width on this gorgeous wool. And it is a wool jacquard. It is about, and it's kind of like a double, it's a jacquard, but kind of like, almost like a double gauze a little bit. So there's 2 layers. I'm trying to separate it. And of course, it's not going to do it while I'm filming, but it's kind of like a double gauze, and that there's like 2 different layers, you can get in there between the fabric, because this side, and then you've got the opposite. I was gonna buy just a little bit of this fabric, like, I don't know, a yard and a half, but then when they unrolled it, and I was like, oh, it's the reverse on the other side. I bought 3 yards. So I've got a lot of this fabric to play around with. When I purchased it, I did have an idea of the style of garment that I wanted to have. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes I fall in love with the fabric, and 3 yards is a good go-to for me for most things. This time though, I absolutely could see a Bowden-inspired cropped jacket is 100% what I saw when I looked at this. Now, what style of crop jacket that's going to be, we'll be talking about here soon. And again, my membership's going to vote on it. But that is what I saw for this. And we're going to be talking more about that on Friday. But yes, so that I knew from that's what I wanted to do. But is this not gorgeous? So it's a wool. Again, I have 3 yards of it. So I may even have enough to do, if I make myself a crop jacket, to do like a little matching skirt. I don't know that I'll have enough for a pair of pants, although that would be crazy and amazing. So we'll see. I'll be very, because I do have a large pattern that I'm also trying to match, that I'll have to be, I'll have to fussy cut to do this, but we'll see. We'll see what we have left over. But definitely I need a cropped jacket of some sort in this, kind of a Bowden-inspired cropped jacket in this beautiful colorway. I can just envision wearing this in fall and spring, and like a ton. So that is the fabric that I've chosen. Again, this has not been languishing in my stash. It's only been there since May. And honestly, when I bought it, I was like, oh, this would be perfect for the Precious Fabric Challenge, which is not the idea of the challenge. The idea of the challenge is to get things that are in our stash onto our bodies. But I just couldn't say no to this. It was one of those, I actually didn't buy that much fabric on that fabric shopping trip, which is good, yay me. But I knew that this had to come home with me. And it was one that I walked away. And I kept thinking, oh, it's so good. It's so good. I was with other seamstresses, as you know, are horrible enablers. And finally, I was like, you know what? I'm going to think about this if I leave this here. So I went ahead and grabbed it, and we're going to do the hard thing and cut into it, even though it's expensive, and make myself the jacket of my dreams. So stay tuned on that journey. We will be talking about, you'll be seeing this a lot here in September, because again, we're going to go through, I'll be making a wearable muslin. We're going to be talking about pattern next, and kind of how I came to determine patterns and pick that kind of thing. I get asked those kind of questions all the time. So I'm going to take you through the process as I'm making these decisions. Again, when it's this versus that type thing, I am going to be polling my YouTube membership. So if you'd like to join us over there, I will leave a link down to that below. Yeah, but I'm excited to spend, September is National Sewing Month, in case you weren't aware. So I think it is a great time to dig in, and it's a transitional month. We're starting to sew fall things, and maybe you've already started sewing your fall things, but getting into that fall sewing. So it's a transitional season, and the perfect time to take some chances. To take some chances, guys. I am a new empty nester. I'm taking chances all over the place. So let's make a phenomenal jacket for me, whatever it might be for you. Again, last year I made myself a silk blouse. So make yourself pants. Jenny will also be participating. She's making herself a pair of wool pants, and she's going to be lining them. And she has only made one pair of pants. Two. She made a wrap pair of pants that were like a really easy pair of pants, but then recently, last week's video, she made herself a pair of pants. But she's gonna do trousers. So that's exciting, and obviously we will bring her along and show you what she's doing as well. But Jenny is a beginner garment sewist, so it does not matter your level of sewing or what your definition of precious is. This is just a great time to step out of your comfort zone and get some things out of your stash or out of your head and onto your body and into your closets. That's the whole purpose, right? The joy that is sewing. Okay, guys, that is all I have for today. I hope you'll be joining us here in the month of September. The challenge runs all month. We will be picking winners. I'll probably be announcing them the 1st of October because the challenge is going to run through midnight on September 30th. Eastern time, so that you've got all month to create some things. You can post your progress pics if you want, post your muslins, post your final garments. I hope to see all of you. And we have got kind of a little tour also happening. So this is people that have YouTube channels as well as people that just have some really great presence on Instagram. So you are absolutely going to want to follow along with that schedule as well. This might be a great time to introduce you all to some new sewing vloggers or sewing content creators, both on Instagram and on YouTube. Maybe people that you weren't familiar with before, or you're going to see a lot of familiar faces as well. We have a lot of really fantastic people that are going to be taking part in this challenge. So also really, really fun to follow along with that. Yeah, and I will leave a link to that schedule down below as well. That can all be found on my website, tomcatstitchery.com. Okay, I hope you guys join us, and if not, it's just going to be a lot of fun to follow along. All right, guys, I hope you're having a great September so far, and I will see you guys next time, but until then, happy sewing.